Greg, how was training today?
It was good. It was good. Obviously light. Some guys were, we held them off their feet for a little while, and it was very light in nature. But the idea is to ramp up the intensity tomorrow and prepare for the game on Thursday.
Chicago's lost 9 straight in MLS, but certainly hungry for results, perhaps similar to the Houston matchup where they're playing with their backs against the wall. What do you see as key to getting a result there in Bridgeview on Thursday?
I think it's our mindset, understanding what the opponent's going to be like mentally, understanding that they will bring the intensity, they will be in a mode where they want to get a win, and we have to match that. I think that's the key to the game, is us understanding what this game is going to be like. It's going to be a difficult game. I think they have quality in their group, and we're going to have to play our game and certainly look to break them down.
You talk a lot about any team can win in this league on any day, but it's only human nature to look at the Atlanta game and really be up for that one. And Chicago, you see this, the guys know the standings. How do you avoid maybe a bit of a letdown from that perspective, especially with a quick turnaround?
That's our job. Our job as coaches is to get the group ready to play, to bring the needed intensity. And I think the caution that it's going to be an easy game is certainly the message we're going with, because it's not going to be an easy game.
Right.
If anyone thinks that, they're foolish, because it's a good Chicago team, and we can hurt them, but we have to have the right attitude and the right mindset.
Does it help that a lot of this team has gone to Chicago before and not gotten the results they wanted against perceived inferior?
Yeah, I think we've always played well there, actually. This group is, we've gotten a couple wins there over the course of my tenure here, a couple ties and a couple losses, but overall I think it's a positive record away from home.
Chicago's brought a few different looks this season, most recently with Schweinsteiger playing a center back as part of a 3-4-2-1 type of look. What do you see in their versatility, and how do you prepare for it?
I think they're flexible. They can change within the game. They changed last game to a 4-2-3-1, put him higher in the number 10 position, started him at center back. And, a lot of it will come down to us and how we can move the ball, the speed of our ball movement. And, we want to be very flexible with our movement and positioning, and we really want to be aggressive attacking.
You mentioned after the Houston game, Federico's still coming back from injury, shaking off a little bit of rust.
Yeah.
How did you see him progress in the Atlanta game? Do you think he's closer to that, or where is he at this point?
I think he's getting there. I think, our job is to be patient with that process and understanding the time he's been off, but he still has quality, to be a top player in this league. And, we've been patient with him. We've been really cautious with his minutes, and that's been on purpose. And, hopefully he can continue to take part as the season winds down.
You guys have 9 games left, and Jossie's now 1 goal away from tying his career high. Is this what you expected of him when you looked at potential targets for him and where he could be, that this was a possibility for him?
The way we play, we want to provide goal scoring opportunities for our striker, and he's been a guy that has been really great in bringing the work and the mindset and the attitude to that position, and he's fit in really nicely. So when we're analyzing his attributes and what he can bring, part of it is being able to project it, but the other part is actually doing it, and he gets all the credit for actually executing and finishing.
And he's approaching his career high in minutes. It would seem like if he continues on this path, he'll get there. Are you surprised he's been able to play every game? If you guys have a quick turnaround, he's been in there. I mean, that he's been pretty steady in that respect. I think our high performance staff does an excellent job of
maximizing players' ability and preventing injuries, and I think this is a good example. Jossie takes care of himself, and the staff is there to guide him throughout this process.
When you look at Kai, you look at Ola, both of those guys kind of had time to integrate. Kai because he couldn't play, and Ola because Kai was here. Jossie kind of had to hit the ground running. Did that change expectations at all, or did you think this is a guy who can use a preseason, and obviously preseason went well?
Yeah. So I think he had to hit the ground running, but the guys are much more comfortable with what we're doing.
Okay.
So I think that that can compensate a little bit for the fast start, but it has to do with also Jossie's ability to just take information in. And, he's a very likable guy. The teammates really want him to succeed, and that goes a long way.
When you first came here, just kind of going back to Hector, I know we talked about him yesterday,
Yeah.
but when you first came here, how important was it to have a guy like that in, and was that kind of an active thing you were thinking about when you first arrived in 2013?
Yeah, you know, that was one of the first moves we made as an organization was to bring him in. And, you know, the way I saw him back then was, you know, a smart soccer player who could understand the way that I wanted to play, that we wanted to play, and could adapt. And I think, you know, we've seen that over the years, is that he's very flexible with his positioning. He's intelligent in his movement. And I think it's a guy that, you know, embodies the culture of who we are and what we want to stand for.
Did you think he could be as diverse as he has been for you guys?
You know, part of it was, you know, projecting that he could play, you know, in the fullback position.
Right.
So yeah, so that was part of the our understanding when we brought him in.
But I mean, at times, a couple times at least, he's played the number 10. He's played
Yeah.
both sides of the. I mean, he's clearly your most.
Yeah, so
diverse
I think it was thinking about just game intelligence, and he's a smart player and he understands the game, and I think that's what you know, helps him play different positions.